Chat Show is brought to you by Chris Kindley and Beth Esby. Good morning.
If you ever talk like that to me again on the first thing, I'm coming up there. I'm telling you, I'm coming up there.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Don't do that. You sound like a 1970s radio announcer.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Hang on, it's Prince Philip. Hang on a minute. Hello, Phil. How are you? How is Greece? Anyway, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Just let him crack on.
Have you dried out? Are you all right?
Do you know what? Last night we did a fundraiser down the Sulby Glen last night, all in memory of James Cowton for the Rob Vine Fund and the Hyperbaric Chamber. Raised for a good few quid. And you know, my feet were that wet from the morning, I didn't even bother to take my shoes off. And there's one thing I don't have in my life, I've never had it, and I'm glad because my dads do. My feet stunk because I've been in wet shoes all day.
That's lovely.
I know. Just while you're having your breakfast this morning, ponder that. And I got back last night, took my gear off, and I was like, oh, hecky thump.
Right.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Well, I'm glad I asked now. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I have dried out now, Beth. Lovely. And I've got, listen, that's no good, is it? Special rompers on today.
Oh,
Stomper
like an
boots.
all-in-one?
Yes.
Yeah?
Hey, leave it. Leave it. How are you, Elizabeth?
I'm okay, thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah.
No, it's not Sunday. It's Monday now.
It's
Sorry,
Monday.
Beth. Yeah, back to Beth now as well. How's your injury, by the way? You just show me your injury.
Yeah, I've got an ironing injury. I'll just show everybody. It was just one of those days, you know. I did that, and then, shall I tell you what else I did? Stood on a plug. Not just like stepped on it, proper stamped on it.
That beats Lego.
It really does. Yeah, it does actually.
Lego works, doesn't it? On the show this morning, we've obviously got the Reverend Canon John Calder here. Andy's here from the police. Not being promoted yet, then?
Not yet.
Oh, working on it, though. Working on it.
By next year.
And we'll have a chat. And also, a bit later on, after 8 o'clock, we've got Tom Sewell, Nick Jeffries, and Philip McCallan. Philip's still on a crutch, by the way, because he twisted his knee doing motorbike things because he's good at that. And then after 8:30 this morning, we've got Brian Reid and Sir Charles Williams.
Oh, Charlie.
Lovely. John, it was a good night last night, wasn't it?
It was fantastic, wasn't it?
Good crack.
It was a cracker. I just thinking this morning as I was coming up here, how generous people have been, and how generous people are around things like that. It was a cracking little night. Good crowd there. The banter was
Free flowing,
almost politically correct
for
most of the night. Yeah.
It was good fun.
And as you said, good few quid raised.
Like-minded people just sat talking memories of a good lad.
Yes.
A cracking lad, to be honest with you. A good friend, well, to both of us, and it's just, you know, and a lot of his friends got up last night, you know, to say a few good words about him.
I have to say this, that James was more well-liked than he knew, and more well-loved around a paddock than he knew. And as people said last night, everybody did a good bit of banter with him and good, strong memories of him.
Good stories, too.
Yeah, and there were a couple of poignant moments in things people said as well, which brought a nice balance into things last night.
It certainly did, and it was good to see Chloe there as well,
yeah.
His girlfriend. So yeah, it was good. It was a good night. Raise a few quid, which is good for the Rob Vine Fund and the Hyperbaric Chamber. And the Hyperbaric does need your help, so if you can help the Hyperbaric out, please do that. So Andy, what's it been like on the roads? Good morning. First time we've seen you from coming in, substitute. What do you like?
Yeah, it's obviously been wet and totally different to what it was during TT. We've had a few problems with people kind of forgetting or ignoring that the mountain road is two-way. Too many people taking the racing line and too many near misses. And as you know, a couple of nasty accidents that have sent a couple of riders over to Liverpool in hospital. So the message really we're trying to get across is, you know, it is still two-way and respect that. Don't take those racing lines when you don't know what's coming around that bend. It's not like the TT one way. We just want people to be safe and also ride to the weather conditions.
Yeah, because it has been a lot of rain, and there's nothing worse on a motorbike. There's a lot of few guys in here who are motorbikers. When you hit a puddle, a standing water on a motorbike, it's not very nice at all. When you start aquaplaning. Speaking of that, last night we were heading up to that event in Sulby, and as we came up to it, past Kate's cottage, up to Keppelgate there, and we just before we were about to get to the corner itself, a two-up motorcycle came the other way, and bear in mind it was quite wet. And he's either Valentina Rossi or thinks he or she is Valentina Rossi. Get the bike that far over, two up. Right on the white line, and we all know what white lines are like on a motorbike. You can, we both sat in the car. There was me, there was Paul Owen, and the handbrake in the back, and that's the wife, by the way. And morning, and
morning,
and we. She was doing what they do on the phones like that, and me and Paul went, "Ooh," and she went, "What?" I went, "Too late, you've missed it," like that, something like that. Anyway, and I was thinking, "Oh goodness me, if he'd come off, he'd be straight into us."
Yeah. Well,
I'd take your time.
I brought a couple of lads back to the grandstand on Saturday afternoon that had broken down. I put the bungalow,
Riders, by the way, racers.
Racers, yeah. And the language in my van was a bit interesting as we're coming around the 33rd and places like that. The speed and going round blind, exactly the same thing. And the road's absolutely packed with people, and these guys are screaming past. And one of them just said, why don't they just get a license?
Yeah, go racing.
Let's see how good you are. Get a license.
Absolutely.
But
totally agree.
I think the other thing is the cloak of invisibility in this weather is just because you've got an older vehicle, the lights don't drain the battery.
No.
You do you know what I mean? The number of people you see, and you have to look twice. You really do have to follow that
and we're coming into darker evenings. Plus, with the weather that we've had at the minute, it kind of darkens it even more.
Yeah, and you just don't see people.
And bikes, put your lights on. 7 o'clock in the evening, put your lights on. You might have a few hours of daylight, but let's be seen.
Yeah, make yourself as visible as possible.
Most cars these days, if you leave your lights on, the open door goes beep and tells you. And then secondly as well, as soon as you turn, some cars now even have them automatic as well. So as soon as it gets a bit dark, mine. Check it out. It's a Volvo, isn't it? It's not a car.
Mine's a Volvo.
Well, no. I thought you were a motorbiker.
I am.
Motorbikers.
I'm on the scooter this morning. Sedate middle-aged in the
we
Volvo.
were just talking about that. Yeah, last night. Have you been out on your scooter? No, it's been too wet. Oh well, that's good. You got the scooter.
I've got the scooter.
You mean like a child's like scooter?
Yeah. My legs aren't good enough for that.
No. Mine aren't.
No, little Vespa 300 a friend lends me. It's fantastic.
So today is going to be one of these days where I think, looking at the forecast, it's not going to be let's get going at this sort of time day. We have got the schedule there, Beth. Could you just quickly read it out for us? If you're not aware of it, there was a few changes made, etc., etc.
Well, as you said, we'll have the full weather forecast just after 7:45. With the schedule as it stands, the roads around the course are going to close at 9:30. Then we've got first racing away 10:10. That is.
Yeah, the Classic TT Superbike's going to have a practice lap,
Practice lap there, and then the Classic TT, the Junior Classic TT over 4 laps will be at 11. But as you say, I mean, that schedule likely to change slightly looking at the weather this morning.
Definitely a movable feast. It's been one of those sort of couple of weeks, hasn't it, Andy? I know you guys up there. I mean, we actually had 2 trips up North Essex. We went up to Derby for the festival day, which granted wasn't as busy as what it has been in years, but there's still a fair few people up there. There was police cars everywhere, obviously up on the mountain as well. There was one at Craig the Bar, there was one at the top of Halewood, there was 2 down the bungalow, and there was also a lot of police presence around the car parks and stuff up there, Derby too. Are you guys standing out there in that rain and stuff hardcore?
Yeah. I mean, it's we have the benefits of standing out in the sunshine, and on the flip side of it, we have to stand out in the rain. It's what we do. Old saying that a policeman never gets wet, but a good policeman never gets wet. But sometimes when you're stuck on the mountain, you've got no choice. So.
And they have been up there for quite long days, and like you've said, when it's mist hanging in front of your face, they're looking for things. Obviously, looking for silliness, and sometimes you might not see it because of the mist and that, but believe you me, if you don't think they're not there, I caught a conversation because you went to Bride TTTs, didn't you?
I have been.
Yeah, no, this year.
Oh, I have been, yeah.
Yeah, because the lady mentioned it yesterday. She went, Beth came. So you've came as well. I was like, yeah, great. Do you have to pay though? Did you have to pay?
Yeah, of course I paid. Did you not pay?
No. I'm joking. I'm only joking. So anyway, we were sat at the end of the table having cake, as you do there, and there's 4 chaps coming in on the bikes. They were absolutely drenched, and I'm not sure where they were from, and I'm not going to try and do an accent. One says, "Did you see that? That speed camera down there?" And the guy went, "No." And all they all started laughing. And he says, "No, I didn't. Where was it?" And he says it was. I think they had one just before Schoolhouse Corner at Ramsey. Possibility of one being there. I think it was. He says, "Yeah, it was just in Ramsey's. You come in, blah blah. It was there. Did you not see it?" And he went, "No." And they all started laughing at him. And he could hear his mind going, "Oh God," because he's probably thinking in the UK where they get the cameras
automatic,
where they get it. But here it's just a guy with a gun, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean. The guys are positioned all the way around the mountain for safety. Just to be seen slows people down. The ability to respond quickly, and to have that, movable lasers as we have, again for prevention. But our speed cameras aren't solid state; they're handheld. Yeah,
but don't speed anyway. Just keep your speed down. Final quick thought, because we've got about a minute or so to go. From you, JC, John Coldwell, please. Obviously, down at the church, been busy. Obviously, yesterday's service and stuff like that, and the cake.
I have to say this weather's great for getting people in, going to TTT rooms and various other things, and spending their hard-earned, and being generous in what they do. I think everybody's just been fantastically generous to the charities and stuff over here across the board.
It's the Isle of Man, though, isn't it?
And it's the Isle of Man, and long may it continue. And I think that's part of one of the reasons why people still come here to our beautiful island. Even though there's an autumnal nip in the air, it will brighten up and we'll have a good day's racing.
Excellent stuff. And Andy, final word from you for today for the people heading out, because I know they will be heading out early doors to get to their positions.
Yeah, keep calm, ride safe.
Like it. Good. How'd you get in touch with us this morning, Elizabeth? Oh, hello, what's this here?
We have just had an update from Gary Thompson via Twitter. The Classic TT MGP are 1 hour delayed to the schedule today due to wet roads and poor visibility. So roads around the TT course will now close at 10:30.
So I've got my romper suit on early for nothing.
Oh dear, we don't want to think about that.
Good,
You could go romping.
Gosh, please. Text us 166 177. Start your message with TT this morning. You can also email studio@radiott.com. Follow us on the Manx Radio TT Facebook pages on Facebook and Twitter. And we're Facebook Living as well. So you might get to see the romper suit in action if you're lucky.
No, you won't. Believe you me, you will not. So coming up after 8 o'clock this morning, we have got... we're just about done now, are we, Al? Yeah. Oh, it does speak. Yeah. Okay. It's fine.
Dear,
crack on. Do what you want. Tom Sewell, Nick Jeffries, and some bloke called Philip McCallan who's just hobbled in here. We've got also Brian Reid and Charlie Williams all in at 8 just after 8:30. Brian and Charlie. Be quiet.
Okay,
I
right?
haven't had a cup of tea yet.
Oh, I better get him one. Someone get him one, quick.
Tea,
Quick.
stat. Isn't that what they say in
I
like
think so.
medical dramas? Back after 8 o'clock.